Anthony Grasso here, bringing you financial news you can use. In this video, we're going to give you the update for December 10th, 2020 at 3 p.m. And if you like this video, smash that like button down below and consider subscribing if you want financial news that can benefit you. All right, so today, let's get right into it. Today, there's few signs of progress towards the coronavirus relief deal as Congress inches closer to letting millions of Americans fall deeper into financial peril right now. So we have 12 million Americans that are going to be losing their unemployment benefits. So the questions right now that loom on Capitol Hill is whether it will include the second stimulus checks or not. So that's one of the big things that's looming right now. Senate Josh Hawley of Montana has introduced a bill that would include the $1,200 checks per individual, $2,400 per couple, and $500 per child. And last week, President Joe Biden said stimulus checks may still be in play. So even though it's off the table with the $916 billion proposal by the White House, it might still be in play. And he said he think it would be better if Americans had $1,200 payments to families. He said in a press conference last week. And right now, Washington lawmakers have been sparring this week over whether to include those direct payments in the next relief measure and how those checks should be. The White House latest proposal calls for the $600 checks, so they knocked it down from $1,200 to $600 per individual. And the bipartisan bill for $908 billion left those payments out completely. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell rejected the $908 billion bipartisan COVID relief plan, and the House now is adjourned until next week. So we probably won't hear too much about any bills that are any proposals that are going to turn into bills over the next few days. And congressional leaders do all stress the importance of approving a rescue package in the coming days to prevent 12 million Americans from losing their unemployment benefits and the eviction moratorium, and prevent families from being kicked out of their homes. And today, Democrats have endorsed the bipartisan talks. But these discussions have still been hung up on two provisions, and those two provisions of the legislation are state and local government relief and GOP-backed immunity for businesses. So that's what is being hung up on right now. They can deal with the whether it's going to have a $600 check, $1,200 check, $300 check, but those are the two main things that's being hung up on. McConnell targeted Democrats today for what they called efforts to delay the new relief. So he's playing a little politics here. So McConnell's saying, okay, well, it's being hung up because the Democrats don't want to play ball, and the Democrats are saying, oh, well, it's being hung up because Republicans don't want to play ball. And let's go back to my previous video. There was $2.4 trillion plan that Pelosi introduced, and it was going to be White House initially agreed to $1.9 trillion. So she was playing politics all day long as well. So they're all politicking right now. So McConnell has backed that more skinny bill for $500 billion. And that would be based upon the Paycheck Protection Program for small business loans. It would not include federal unemployment benefits or direct payments. Now, today, Schumer and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, they basically have shot down the $916 billion offer by the Trump administration because it didn't include the jobless benefit supplement. And McConnell today said he hopes our colleagues let Congress deliver more help soon. A lot of Americans simply cannot afford to wait, he said. So everybody really wants a deal done, but they're just arguing about back and forth on what's the details of it. And Pelosi said we cannot leave here without having a piece of legislation, both to send the pandemic aid and to fund the government. So there's right now they have a delay until the 18th to really push forward a funding bill for the government and also pass pandemic aid. Now, the House has officially passed the 1-week spending extension today, yesterday, and today the Senate is supposed to approve it, so that's what gives it the 1-week extension for federal spending up until December 18th. Will Trump actually veto that bill or not? Well, that remains to be seen at this point. Now, why this is extremely important right now is initial jobless claims jumped up to 853,000 last week, the highest since September. And right now there's a approximately about 19 million Americans that are still receiving some form of unemployment benefits. The increase in people seeking jobless aids, it follows the new state and city economic restrictions. So everybody knows that a lot of states and cities are shutting everything down again. Well, that's putting everybody really out of work, and that's really why we saw a huge jump up in initial jobless claims to 853,000 last week. And I'm probably projecting next week won't even look good at all. So, but there is some good news. Now, Pelosi has said today that she suggests Congress could stick around longer if they fail to strike a deal by the 18th. So she's basically giving her wiggle room, basically to say, well, we won't really adjourn for Christmas for a few days if we can, get a good deal going. And the proposal still has to become legislative text. And lawmakers have not been able to write a bill because of the lingering disagreements over liability protection and state and local aid. Now, I haven't really gone into the breakdown of any of these proposals because they're just proposals right now. And I really don't want to give you a false hope of here's a $908 billion proposal and everything they're talking. And here's the 916, which really there's not really any meat to the 916 about what's really inside of it. Once the lawmakers put it into a bill, I will actually read that whole bill, break it down, and explain to you what it means for you. I will break it down for everybody. So the update for December 10th, 2020 is there's still no deal. So stay tuned for the next video. I'm going to have daily updates on where the stimulus checks are and bringing you financial news you use. And don't forget to smash that like button down below. It really helps me on the YouTube algorithm. And subscribe to this channel because I go over stock market investing, real estate investing, any market news that you can use. So we'll be talking with you tomorrow. Ciao.